European giants circling for important 26-year-old Arsenal ace. The Gunners have been one of the most consistent outfits over the past 18 months or so, with Mikel Arteta getting his side closer every season to toppling serial title winners Man City. In order to finally get over the line in that regard, the Spaniard will need to keep his current crop of stars together, but as CaughtOffside sources note, Gabriel Magalhaes, the club's brilliant 26-year-old Brazilian defender, is on the radar of Paris Saint-Germain, Real Madrid and Bayern Munich. It's understood that all three European giants have been monitoring Gabriel's development for some time, though the Gunners are willing to start negotiations to extend the player's contract until 2029. Additionally, sources have also advanced that Real and PSG are sizing up a bit for Gabriel's defensive partner, William Saliba, and surprisingly, the Gunners are not open to selling either defender in January, but if Gabriel or Saliba can be convinced by the continental heavyweights, the North London club's stance might change. Sources have indicated to CaughtOffside that Gabriel's price tag would be around the 90 to 95 million euros mark, while Saliba is valued at closer to 120 million euros. Los Blancos have also been linked with Tottenham's Argentine defender Cristian Romero, and he could be considered as a backup option at this stage. Carlo Ancelotti appreciates Romero's abilities, but despite Real's interest, Spurs are keen on keeping Romero, who has become a key player for them. Romero himself has expressed his commitment to Tottenham with a personal aim of winning titles with the club. Latest update on £27 million star gives Arsenal and their fans a welcome boost. Arsenal have been handed a boost with midfielder Mikel Merino now, just a few weeks away from returning to first team training according to Sky Sports. Merino arrived at Arsenal this summer from Spanish side Real Sociedad for an initial fee in the region of £27 million. Unfortunately, the 28-year-old has yet to feature for the Gunners after picking up a shoulder injury, and Arsenal will be keen to get the Spain international back soon, given Martin Odegaard is set for an extended period on the sidelines after picking up an ankle injury on international duty for Norway. However, in good news, Sky Sports reported live on air that Merino is making good progress and is only a few weeks away from a return to first team training. He said, Mikel Marino, obviously a disappointment for him picking up that shoulder injury as soon as he signed for Arsenal. We understand that he is actually progressing quite well and a few weeks away now, so that will be a massive boost for Mikel Arteta when he comes back to really bolster that central midfield. Marino eventually arrived at the Emirates after several weeks of negotiations, and he will provide Arteta with another option in the middle of the park alongside Thomas Partey, Jorginho, and Declan Rice, with squad depth really important given the amount of games the Gunners could face this season. The former Sociedad man impressed at Euro 2024 for Spain, who lifted the trophy after beating England in the final and will be hoping to make an instant impact in the Premier League. As to when Merino can be expected to make his debut is unclear yet, but it would be a surprise to see him feature before the October international break, meaning Bournemouth away on October 19th could be the first time he is seen in an Arsenal shirt. Mikel Arteta says Atalanta found it very difficult to deal with £40 million Arsenal player in the Champions League. Speaking to Sky Italia, Mikel Arteta has reserved some special praise for Riccardo Calafiori, claiming that the £40 million defender showed why he was signed this summer. The Arsenal boss spoke highly of the Italian. He said, This is why we signed him. Calafiori has a lot of character, and in these games in particular, he is able to take certain positions that make it very difficult for the opponent to get a reference point. It was a tough week for him as he picked up that injury on international duty. I think he came on really well. Riccardo Calafiori hasn't quite established himself at Arsenal yet, but he is getting there. The Italian appears to be improving every single time he steps onto the pitch, and he looked very confident against Atalanta on Thursday. Of course, The fact he was playing against Serie A opposition back in his home country will have helped, but as Arteta says, this is a player who is very difficult to play against when he is at his best. Calafi has a unique skill set that will allow him to be an interesting weapon for Arsenal, and there is plenty of reason to be excited about what he will bring to the squad this season. Calafiori is just getting started at Arsenal, and there is plenty more to come from the defender. Mikel Arteta says £30 million Arsenal player did something last night he has never seen before. Speaking to Sky Italia after the match, Mikel Arteta was full of praise for Raya, claiming that he's never seen two saves like this before in his life. Arteta spoke about the £30 million man and his incredible moment of magic. He said, "We started very well. It's not easy to adapt against Atalanta. We didn't suffer anything defensively, but we didn't have control of the game. Raya made two saves that I have never seen in my life. We congratulate Atalanta, who are working very well. We've collected a point, and now we are thinking about Sunday's match against Manchester City. It's not easy to play against Atalanta. Maybe if you score the first goal, it's different, but today it wasn't easy." David Raya wasn't incredibly busy against Atalanta, but this double save kept the Gunners in the game. This was a moment for the ages for the goalkeeper, and if he hadn't already justified his place in this Arsenal team, he has now. For a long time, there was some resistance to Raya being Arsenal's number one, as some fans felt Aaron Ramsdale had been unfairly treated, but over the past 12 months, Raya has been getting better and better. Raya has now shown that he is a top level goalkeeper, and after his heroics against Porto last season, he is already producing the goods in the Champions League again. Raya will be crucial for Arsenal if they are going to make a serious run in Europe this season. Arsenal considering delaying Martin Odegaard's return from injury. Martin Odegaard is set to miss a large chunk of the season after injuring his ankle while on international duty with Norway last week. The Arsenal skipper has been ruled out for 10 games after a recent MRI scan confirmed he had suffered significant ligament damage. However, according to a recent report from HITC, although the 25-year-old could be ready in time to face Chelsea on 10th November, the Gunners could opt to delay his return. Keen not to avoid rushing Odegaard back too soon, Mikel Arteta also gutted about his skipper's injury, is confident his side can cope until December without the Norwegian and therefore may allow him an additional 2 weeks in rehab. Should Odegaard's return be delayed until December, the midfielder's first game back could be at home against Manchester United. The Red Devils are also expecting to welcome one of their players back in time for the Arsenal game. Summer signing Lenny Yoro, who is recovering from a broken metatarsal, has reportedly told friends and teammates he is hopeful he can be fit enough to feature in December's game at the Emirates. Arsenal, Liverpool, and Spurs scouted the same player in the Champions League this week. Premier League clubs Arsenal, Liverpool, and Tottenham are all interested in the same player. They scouted him in the Champions League this week when the player featured for Atalanta against Arsenal. According to TBR Football, several Premier League clubs were present in Bergamo to watch Atalanta winger Ademola Lookman. Along with the pacey winger, they also scouted his teammate and Brazilian midfielder Ederson. All the teams are looking to strengthen their wide options, and Lookman is the player they have identified to play that role. The Atalanta star had his career best season last season when he helped the club win the Europa League by scoring a hat-trick against Bayer Leverkusen in the final. His fine performances caught the attention of some of the biggest clubs in the world, and now they are keeping a close eye on him and the progress he is making. The Nigerian international scored 11 goals in the Serie A last season and registered 7 assists in a highly productive season for him. He failed to score against Arsenal in the Champions League, but his teammate Ederson was impressive for the Serie A side and competed well against the stubborn Arsenal midfield. Liverpool have been exploring the opportunity to sign a wide player, and their signing of Federico Chiesa this summer showed that. On the other hand, Mikel Arteta and Ange Postecoglou are both looking for more depth in the wide areas and someone who can provide competition to their current wingers. It remains to be seen what the future holds for the Atalanta attacker. The competition to sign him could work well in favor of the Serie A side, who would love a bidding war between Premier League clubs for their player. Atalanta have shown no desire to sell the player, but if they make him available, they are not going to be short of offers. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.